Welcome back into the Sports Source, this segment of our program, brought to you by Medic Regional Blood Center. December is the season of giving, and what better gift can a person give than the gift of life? Last year, Medic delivered hundreds of units of blood to local hospitals on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Blood was needed. We don't think about it this time of year. We should. Roll up your sleeve, give a real gift. Visit medicblood.org to learn how you can help fellow East Tennesseans and the many, many hospitals that Medic provides blood to throughout the holiday season. It's a great thing to do. All right, more rapid fire questions, one for each of you. I'm going to give you, heck, we almost have 30 seconds to a minute here for each of you. Bob, some people are worried that if Jeremy Pruitt wins, Alabama will come after him once Nick Saban retires. Should they be worried about that?
Yes, I think they should be worried about that in 2022 or 2023 or sometime. You know, here's the way I look at my life. I've got enough stuff going on. I don't need to go digging around for extra things to have to worry about. And to me, this is digging around for extra things to worry about. Let's see how it plays out. Let him get through a season, maybe 2 seasons or 3 seasons before that becomes a concern.
I'd hope they do. That means he's having success.
Yeah,
exactly.
It would never be a worry.
But it ain't going to happen in 2 or 3 years.
If they came after him instead of Dabo Swinney, yeah, I think that means he's going to leave you in a lot better shape than he found you. So you know, I wouldn't worry about it. The other thing is, there was a time, we all remember this, Buzz Peterson, if he's good, he's just going to leave us for North Carolina. You should be so lucky. All right. Jimmy, things have never worked out in terms of T. Martin coming to Tennessee in coaching positions. Is it time to kind of put his file next to the Gruden file and things that fans want to see happen but probably aren't ever going to happen?
I think so. And look, T. Martin's done a nice job at Southern Cal. He's been their offensive coordinator. The only way he'd come back to Tennessee, in my opinion, would be as a head coach. Why would you leave being an offensive coordinator at Southern Cal? So I think it's highly unlikely that he would come back to Tennessee in any capacity other than head coach, and I don't see that in the foreseeable future.
Okay. Ryan, you give me the answer and we'll see what everybody else says too. It is a honeymoon right now. I mean, maybe when he was hired it was an 8 and it cranked to 9. There may be some people at 9.5 after that press conference. But how much does that stop if Clemson, who has averaged 40 points against Jeremy Pruitt's defense the last 2 years, if Clemson puts 40 on Alabama in the semifinals, does some of this honeymoon stop at that point before he ever coaches a game, or do you think people just sail right through it and ignore it?
I don't think they ignore it, but I don't think it necessarily takes away from the honeymoon. I think people look at that and say, you know what, Alabama wasn't even the favorite to win the college football playoff in some ways. They didn't win the conference this year. This isn't a dominant Alabama team in some ways the way we've seen in past years. They would look at it and say, disappointing that he didn't do better, but we'll see what he does at Tennessee. It's okay.
Blame it on Saban.
Yeah.
I know somebody that's already said that defense is beat up. What can you expect? So already laying a little bit of an excuse groundwork in there.
Okay, I think I read social media, so I'm guessing the social media crowd will then turn it. There'll be a chunk of them that say, knew we shouldn't have hired this guy.
Agreed.
You just guarantee you that'll be there. All right, Mike Strange, bigger surprise. There were no Haslams at the Pruitt introductory presser. Now, Jimmy Haslam said this week that he wasn't involved in the search at all. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it could be that I think he was firing another general manager this week on that day. But
he was.
No Haslam's there. Is that the biggest surprise? Or is the biggest surprise the fact that Tennessee cut a deal with Jimmy Sexton on a new coach, and the buyout is $6 million, and it drops $1 million every year after that? What's the bigger surprise? A good buyout or the Haslam's not being at the presser?
Both are a surprise, but the biggest surprise to me, my knee-jerk reaction, is UT negotiating a good buyout after the history we've seen. And quickly, I might add on Ryan's question, here's another thing for Bob not to worry about. Tennessee gets to the playoffs in a few years and has to play Clemson, and Pruitt can't defend Clemson.
All right, very good. When we come back, 6 SE schools have new full-time hired head coaches. One was promoted from an interim position. We'll show you all 6, and we'll ask who is the best hire and where does Jeremy Pruitt rank, if not number 1, of course. Come on back on the Sports Source.